perspectives. Just going on a nice walk this morning. It's a little bit cooler than I would normally prefer, but kind of forces me to wake myself up a little bit. And I just needed to get out and basically get some movement in. I've been kind of just sitting in the house for the past couple days, so taking it easy. Really actually enjoying myself the past couple days pretty well. So things are starting to turn around. We don't have anybody in here yet, so go ahead and wait a minute across the street here. Hello and welcome into the chat. I see we've got somebody in here. If there's any questions you have or anything you want to talk about, just drop down in the comments section. We're just going on a little stroll here. Melik, what's up? How are you, dude? Good to have you on here. I think since you're on here, Melik, I'll go ahead and talk about a subject that hasn't really been on my mind as much the past, couple days, but I don't think it's something that I would ever really do. But there was an individual, that I was having a lot of resentment against and a lot of hate. It's kind of been built up for a long, long time, and I was considering using not so nice methods to deal with it. And, I really decided against doing anything about it. I decided I'm going to work on my own higher self, things along those lines, focus on me, and karma or the universe will just kind of let those people, if they don't, get in alignment with their true will, the karma is going to come back and hit them. I think a metaphor or an analogy I'm going to use is, I imagine myself like at the end of a dock, and the person's like drowning in the water. Well, they're not drowning, they're swimming. But if I go in there and get myself, I'm not able to climb back up to shore. If I jump in the water with them and start tackling and wrestling with them, like, I may drown as well. So I thought it was better. Oh, I thought that was a snake. I did see a snake back here the other day. I just thought it would be better if I just don't jump in the water, if I just let it be. And I think that's actually worked out in my favor. So I think when it comes to like baneful magic and things of that nature, I can see if like somebody like really, really wronged you. That's different. This is more just, yeah, they did cause me like emotional hurt and things of that nature, but really they're just a lost person. And I see it as that. So I think Source will ultimately take care of them. Let me know what your views are on that. Yesterday when I went out of stream, something synchronistic happened involving spiders. Nice, yeah, because we were just talking about that spider tattoo. Let me know what happened. I want to know. Johnny, how are you? I'm actually doing pretty well, brother. How are you? It feels so good to just get out and walk. I didn't feel like going on an actual run today. I haven't been on a run in a while, actually. I was doing pretty good there for a while. I would go on a run like every other day or about every 3 days or so. Melanin, bro, how are you? Welcome into the chat. Make sure we're getting thumbs up in here, and glad to have you all in here. So that didn't take too long for you guys to jump in, so thank you. I'm just going on a walk and decided it would be the perfect time to do a live stream. Enjoying the nature and everything. Look at this. I love it back here. It's beautiful. Yeah, I didn't really have any particular subjects in mind for the talk. Well, I guess there is one thing I could talk about if we end up not finding any other subjects that we want to discuss. Too cold, question mark? It feels amazing out, 58 degrees. It does feel good. I prefer it to be just a little bit warmer. Like, obviously, if I'm running or whatever, this is actually like perfect weather. But I've got like a jacket on, so dude, I'm only like 145 pounds. I don't really weigh that much, so I get cold a little bit easier probably than the average person. I'm pretty tall. I'm like 5'10", 5'11", but I'm just real skinny, and I just have a crazy metabolism. I always have, so everything I eat just gets processed right away. You did the right thing there. Usually if somebody is annoying you, you only use it as a last resort if your evolution is being disrupted or you are being threatened. I exactly wholeheartedly agree with you. Yeah, it wasn't to the point where like my life was threatened. It was a destructive force though that actually did disrupt my life. But the point that I had to realize is the person that they were interfering with that was really close to me, that person allowed it to happen. They allowed this other person to come into our lives and create that discordance. And because they, of their own free will, allowed that to happen, and I learned this a lot from listening to Jeremiah's videos, you just have to let it go. People make their own choices. People have their own trauma. They have their own way of dealing with trauma. And sometimes things are only meant to be for a certain amount of time. And then the universe will eventually open up, better opportunities and such. So you just have to have that faith. And I don't really like the word faith. I like to say that knowingness. That knowingness that as long as you stay on course, the universe will be there with you. But yeah, it was a very destructive energy in my life. But I'm starting to see now how the things I experienced before and the pain I've experienced is actually going to help me in my next phase of evolution. So I am really thankful for that, regardless of the pain. So the older I get, it's like the more beauty I'm able to find within pain. But you still have to have, you still have to have healthy boundaries. You have to do what's best for you. And you can only play that sacrificial role for so long. So being the good shepherd is not a full-time job. They say that Jesus in the Law of One, they refer to him as actually like he didn't even have a real name. There was no title or name, but he was like a fifth dimensional being, which actually came back to this density to help with the evolution. And he knew what his role was to play. So he was going to be a sacrifice. So there's so many different stories of Jesus though. It's ridiculous. So it's really hard to know what's just myth and what's the actual truth. But the whole Christ energy, it's more about knowledge of self. It's Gnostic, gnosis, knowledge. Finding that, not focusing so much on the death, like the Jesus on a cross, but you are the liberated, risen Christ. And honestly, that energy is like more Luciferian, in my opinion. So focusing on him being the actual light bearer, rather than just like this, fleshy human being that dies on a cross. I think that's kind of a degradation of the true mysteries. But there is some lesson in that too, because there are times where you are going to have to play that role, and you just kind of have to be receptive, be willing to be open to certain things. You'll know in your heart when it's right for you or when it's not right. You just have to follow that. I see we have 6 people in the chat. What is up, everyone? Make sure we get thumbs up in the chat if we can. I know for me, I have to hit like a little 3-dot thing on the side, and then that's how that comes up. But hopefully that just helps the YouTube channel grow a little bit more. And just trying to expand. I also, I do have material I need to be getting on the Patreon very, very soon. The 1 chapter I'm almost completed with. So. The water is a good analogy you used. Thank you. Yeah, the whole water thing, or like watching the person be in the water and then like deciding not to jump in with them and get all tied up in their karma and drowning with them. Yeah, it makes me think of the Phil Collins song In the Air Tonight. Well, if you told me you were drowning, I'll not lend a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend. Love that song. It's one of my favorite songs. I've played it live a bunch of times now. Playing drums and singing it. It's awesome. Yesterday, Melik says, yesterday I meditated and slept during the meditation. Then I had a Qliphothic influence dream where everyone was getting involved in violence, but I wasn't getting affected. Interesting. So to me, what that represents is, and Curtis Joseph's been talking about this lately in his video, one of his newest ones, where it just seems like everyone's going crazy. And I'm noticing that too. Like I can think of a couple different people who are in my like close inner circle of friends that I've always had that are just really struggling right now. And they just can't seem to set the proper healthy boundaries and let go of certain things. And it's totally eating them up. And I think I've just seen like people having crazy and bizarre like outbursts of energy lately. Not outbursts of energy, outbursts of like anger or violence, which I guess is a form of energy. But I've dealt with a lot of anger myself, like the past, like really the last 6 months have been super harsh. But I'm just now getting to the point where things are just now starting to turn around. And I really want to create that solid foundation going forward, and learn from the quote unquote, not so much mistakes, but things that I could have done better. I just learned, from previous things. Do you think sports are a distraction for people? Absolutely. Hold on, Johnny, before I read the rest of that comment, because I'll comment on the whole thing that you put there. It is a distraction, but sports aren't bad. Like I grew up playing sports. I played soccer from first grade to junior year of high school. And then my coach was a dick in high school. Like he was an asshole. He didn't let certain seniors play their last game, like just because they missed like a couple practices or something. And after that, I'm like, you know what? And he wouldn't play me anymore. I'm like, you know what? I'm quitting soccer. Like I quit right before the season was over my junior year. And my senior year, I did cross country and I absolutely loved it. The attitude of all the participants and even coaches from other teams will cheer you on during your races. They'll be like, come on, you got this. And it's just so fucking encouraging. It's beautiful, actually. So I really enjoyed cross country. I wish I could have done it the whole time. I was in high school. I would have never done soccer if I'd have known how much I liked that. It was better socially for me too. Just better people overall. All right. I walked the path going around clockwise. I'm gonna walk the path going counterclockwise now, and then we'll probably get out of the woods here for a little bit. I'm sorry, Johnny, I veered off there with the whole sports thing, but yes, sports are absolutely a distraction. I'm not really a big fan of sports or watching sports anymore. I watched my nephew play soccer, and I loved that, actually. I did have a really good time, like, watching them play. I thought that was cool. It had been so long. It had been like 6 or 7 years at least, I feel like, since I'd been to any kind of like high school event back at my own high school. So that was really cool. But overall, I'm not really into sports at all anymore. I think they're really good for the physical aspect of it, like working out your body and getting motion and just building yourself up physically. And I think if you're going to be a magician or anything like that, if you're going to do work with energetic practices, the more things you can do to keep your physical health and vitality up, the stronger you will be as a practitioner. So being involved in like sports could be really helpful for that. But don't get caught up in the duality of sports, just like it's all about like winning or losing. Like there's always a winner or a loser in sports. It's kind of why, I mean, the competition's healthy sometimes, but sometimes it just gets way out of hand. That's why I like music, because there's not really any winners or losers per se. Everyone's just kind of displaying their art and their talents. Let me read the rest of your... but basically sports, especially football, it's like modern day Coliseum is basically what it is. It's kind of messed up, but I always joke around with people. I'm like, I wish they'd bring back the gladiator days. Like 2 men enter and only 1 exits. Only 1 leaves the stadium. Now that would be some, I don't know that I could actually watch that, but I always thought it was funny to think about that. That would be pretty brutal, but it would have you on the edge of your seat for sure. I don't know if I would believe in that or not. If 2 people of their own free will decided, hey, we want to duke it out. We want to duel. And we're gonna fight. So that would be interesting. I don't know if we should really let people do that or not. I wonder if the sports fan energy was transferred into community and self-improvement, if the world would be better. Yeah, I think it's amazing how much energy people waste like at sport events and stuff like that. It's crazy. It is crazy. Let me know if the signal and everything's all right too, because I know I've used most of my data. Well, I've used pretty much all of it. So I know it helps if I'm connected to like a Wi-Fi or something, but I can't really do that out here. But yeah, I actually talk about the whole sports thing in I think it's my first like Albert Pike Morals and Dogma video, if you want to check that out. But yeah, that energy could definitely just be the energy that's used at sporting events, just so much uncontrolled energy. Like if that were channeled in a different, more productive way, exactly what you were saying, think about what could be done with the community and with the world at large. Melek says, but then I woke up and there was a massive spider on the wall and I killed it because it was too big. Holy crap. Instantly. That's insane. How big of a spider are we talking, Melek, if you're still on here? Like 4 inches long or something crazy like that? That's a trippy dream. I wonder the meanings. Yep. That's what Johnny says. Melanin says, death brings new life. It's perfect. Mental and physical. Yep. Transformation, the phoenix. How many times does one have to die and be reborn in this mortal life? It's interesting to ponder sometimes. Melek says, but it was significant because I haven't killed a massive spider, the thick ones, since I was a child, because when I did at the time, it caused massive, one of my main traumas. Whoa. So it seems like you're almost linking back to like this childhood memory and like working with this inner trauma. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So it was me overcoming my biggest fear. Nice. Heck yeah. Yeah, big ass spiders creep me out. They really do. I'm cool with little spiders, but I would probably scream like a little girl if I saw like a big tarantula type spider crawl on me. I'd be creeped out. I don't know if any of you have seen the first James Bond movie, Dr. No, but that's like one of the infamous scenes. He's sleeping and like the spider's crawling up him. I don't think I would have been able to sit there that still. Melanin says, that's great, bro. And Melek says, thanks. This weather change, it has me dealing with a lot of sinus issues. I'd say about the past 4 days. A lot of it's just drainage and stuff. It works its way down into the stomach when you're kind of laying down, and then it's a lot better when you kind of get up and just move around. Melek says, yeah, on to the point of everyone crazy. I am sure it's my energetic body since I am in tune with my primal instincts. Vampire. But my class during school this year, everyone is so chaotic. Yeah, isn't it interesting how as you work on your own inner self and your own energy body, how that affects like the mass collective? It's very interesting. I've noticed it myself too with different forms of workings. Last academic year was getting crazy when I entered the Qliphoth last September, but this year is almost out of control. Even people who wouldn't speak up would now have a say. Interesting. Very interesting. The spider was nearly the size of your face. Yeah, forget that. That's insane. Like what area do you live in, if you don't mind me asking, where a spider that big would even be able to show up? That does seem like a super magical correspondence, especially with the dream and everything. Because when I was a child, I lived near a forest, so I saw proper spiders back then, hence the type of spiders. Okay, nice. I see we have 5 people in the chat now. Make sure we're getting the thumbs up if we can. Thank you for tuning in. Just going on a walk, and any questions you guys have, if you just want to comment, feel free to enter the chat. One of the things I was thinking about talking about on the live stream, if we do happen to like run out of topics and stuff, is the subject of the cornerstone. Wow, my hair looks kind of funny at certain angles. The cornerstone and its symbolic meaning. It actually ties in with Freemasonry too. So if that's something you guys want to talk about, it's really not like a super complex topic to understand, but it's also something that people may not completely understand. You know, how it can even be applied like practically and things of that nature, like what it actually means. Ruben says, greetings. Greetings from Chicago. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Any 2025 predictions? Ooh, I don't know about that. With the presidential elections and all this going on, you know, what I've kind of noticed is, you know, for the past, ever since like 2012 and even before then, like a lot of people think there's going to be just like one big event, which I guess with COVID there really was in 2020, which is kind of funny because in 2012 I knew it wasn't going to be the end of the world, but I did know that there was a major shift happening. And that was actually the year I started to really have, check out these trees, guys. It's beautiful. Check out that big one. Some of them are really tall. Oh, lost track of where I was. We were talking about elections and predictions. Oh, back in 2012. I knew that something crazy was going to happen the year 2020. I don't know how I knew that. I just knew something big was going to happen just because of those numbers, like one right after the other, 2020. I don't have any major predictions for next year. You know, what I've noticed is people think there's always going to be like, oh, there was the whole FEMA conspiracy for a while. There's so many different conspiracies. And I'm not saying they're all false. A lot of them are true. A lot of them are probably just bunk, or they're only told in half-truths, you know, so it's hard to know what's real and what's not. I think as a whole, the world will continue to go on, you know, as it normally does, but there's always crazy shit happening somewhere in the world. So I'm not saying that nothing crazy is going to happen. I hope that, you know, World War III's isn't going to take place. I hope that we can have a more harmonious shift than that, you know, as a whole, as like a global collective. I'm hoping like humanity can kind of figure their shit out a little bit better than that and kind of work on themselves. But people never want to go in and work on themselves. It's always which politician can save us. Like, you know, it's all, they're trying to like operate within this super matrix, like robotic system to do these things. And I understand that to a degree. You need foundation, you need things to kind of work smoothly, and there has to be a process, like a legal process. But at the same time, if it's too controlled and if it's too robotic, it's not able to be organic whatsoever. So, see that squirrel right there? Oh, I'm sorry, he ran away. He's on the other side of it. Oh, there he goes. Hi, squirrely. It's Sandy Cheeks. She came out of Bikini Bottom to visit us in the woods. So yeah, no specific predictions for next year. I predict things going a lot better for myself. How's that sound? And yeah, we all just got to work on ourselves and remember that all of this is, you know, you can look at the world, you can look at the events that happen in the world, but all of this is ultimately like an internal journey. You're an eternal spirit that is like shifting through dimensions. It's not really that there's even a world out there. It's really all coming from the source, which you are one with the source. So you're living the experience as God, having the experience of being a physical being. So it's really cool to have this experience and to be here right now. So, but there's just so much to it all. Pretty wild. Let's see what the next. What are your overall views of Freemasonry? Because obviously it gets a bad rap. I know a lot about Freemasonry, Melik. I don't know why it gets such a bad rap. People like demonize it all the time, but I think they ultimately just don't understand it. Because the guys that I know are Masons, they're really good guys, and they do a lot for like the community and stuff. And, you know, I'm a member myself. I've been involved. And everything that I see coming from it's really positive, like very constructive. And, you know, I've not seen anything weird or sketchy or anything like that. There's so many different stories about, you know, people being abused, and I don't understand it. I've never heard of it, never seen it. It's just a lot of good guys getting together to create a lot of good in the community. And, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm not even worthy to be among them, some of those guys, because they're just super good dudes. It's all about lending a helping hand and helping each other as a brotherhood become better men. It helps good men become better. So it can't turn a piece of shit person that's just awful to everyone into a good man, but it can take a good man and make him better. But yeah, anything you want to know about Freemasonry, brother, I'm pretty knowledgeable on the subject. So I kind of know what's real from what's false. So lots of weird conspiracies out there that make like no sense because people don't really know what Freemasonry is. It's kind of why I started my book, and you can check it out on my Patreon. I've got the link for that in most of my videos. It's only $5 to get like half the book. But I really try to like set forward in there like what actually is Freemasonry versus like what people think it is. There was a movie about the end of the world called 2012. Yeah, I remember when that movie came out. I've never seen it though. Or if I did, it's been so long since I've seen it, and I probably just watched parts of it like at a friend's house or something like that. Grounding would be nice there. Grounding is always nice. That's actually something I didn't do while I was back in the woods, which I should have done. I should have taken my flip-flops off and just sat there with my feet on the earth for a while. I haven't done that lately, and it's actually really good. It's really healthy. Connects you with Gaia, you know, Mother Earth. I have a song too. It's on this YouTube channel. It's called Beautiful Gaia, a song dedicated to the Divine Feminine, if anyone's interested in checking that out sometime. I see we have 5 people in here. What's up, everyone? Leave comments below if you want to ask questions, if you want to get engaged in the conversation. Be sure to smash the thumbs up button too. But yeah, Melik, you were talking about some of the aspects of Freemasonry. Let's talk about the cornerstone, the symbology of the cornerstone for a minute. I don't have the actual verses with me. Like, there's biblical verses that talk about the cornerstone. There's like 4 different ones that are really similar that I can think of. And like I said, I don't know them off the top of my head. I probably should memorize them. But basically what the whole idea of the cornerstone is so the story goes that at King Solomon's temple, the workmen, they're working on the temple. I can't remember if the temple was like nearing its completion, and all the craftsmen are kind of working out, and they bring their work up for inspection. And one of them, he found this beautiful stone, and they ended up, basically, the long story short, they ended up throwing the stone into the rubble with the rest of the stones. They're like, the stone's rubbish. But what they ended up finding out later, that was the actual keystone that they needed. And it was actually built by the architect of King Solomon's temple, Hiram Abiff. So they're like, oh, like the cornerstone, or the stone that we rejected, was actually the keystone which was needed. So that is, it's a really, really cool story. And what it represents is that sometimes the person that we outcast, the people that, there might be someone that gets rejected. There might be someone that sees trials their whole life. They may be like turned down, rejected. But in the end, that may have been the person or the chosen one. I hate using that quote because there's so many people that make videos about, oh, chosen ones out there. I'm like, really, everyone's a chosen one. It's just whether you decide to get in alignment with that or not. But yeah, the person themselves represents the missing keystone that was needed all along. And that's kind of how Christ was. We see how, with the story of Christ, the people, I mean, if they crucified him, like, they spat on him and stuff. And, but he was, the whole time, he was the one that was trying to help them. And he was the foundation, quote unquote, the foundation. And the cornerstone has a lot to do with the foundation of a building. And the foundation of self also starts with a symbolic cornerstone. So that's pretty much all I can really say about the symbolism of that. But hopefully that brings some light. Maybe you are the hidden gem, the hidden, the cornerstone that was really the secret key. Or maybe that is in your life somewhere and you didn't realize that it was the missing key, So I see we have 4 people in the chat. Just drop down in the comments if you want to discuss anything in particular. I'm always full of topics and ideas, but sometimes I just need that little spark to get started. Melanin, you joined the Patreon? Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think you'll really appreciate the knowledge that's there. Because really what it is, it's mostly just me pulling information from a lot of different sources, good sources of knowledge, and I'm kind of bringing it all together in one space. And then I also tell my story as well. And then I also have an instructional video on how you would do the lesser invoking ritual of the pentagram, or at least the way that I do it nowadays. So, Ipsissimus, what's up? How are you? Yo, glad to have you in here. Glad to have you in here. And the sun is really shining now. So the hood kind of gives me that sage type feel. I feel like I feel like it protects me energetically sometimes. It gives an interesting, like wearing a hood or wearing a hat really changes the energy, the way the energy moves around your body. But I always feel like a mage or like an adept or some kind of hidden mystery school guy when I put the hood up. You're good? Glad to hear. Glad to hear you're doing good, brother. What's new? What's new in your world? Anything special? Oh. I should have worn actual tennis shoes for a walk. Not sure what I was thinking. At least I'm not running today. Well, I would never try to run in flip-flops, but definitely wouldn't be able to pull that off. Yeah, really it's just nice to be able to get out and stretch and all that stuff. I think just being in motion a lot of the times is good. I like my meditation. I do like sitting still, especially after a long day of work or whatever. But I've been kind of in my room, just not doing a whole lot the past couple days. So it's good to get out. JP, what's up? Hey man, you should do some game playthroughs and do a commentary as you are playing them. That would be very entertaining and interesting if you would. I would watch the crap out of that. That would be pretty cool. I've always thought about doing like a video game channel. I'm not sure. I know you need like a special kind of camera to do it, and I'm not sure what that is or how it works. And I mean, I could do it on this YouTube channel, but it would almost be better to start a new YouTube channel to do that, I would think. And then I could talk about it or share it on here. So. Elo Duano. You dropped some gems about your favorite archangel, Azazel. Azazel. I don't know much about Azazel. I do know, and Thomas Carlson, Kabbalah, Qliphoth, and Goetic Magic, I was starting to memorize some of the lines from a section of the chapter. It's called The Fall of Lucifer. And the first part of it, it goes, the fall of Lucifer, on the original tree of life, Yesod, is an exact reflection of the highest plane, Kether. Here, man is an exact image of God. Perhaps this is why Lucifer and the angels around him, Samziah, Azazel, and the sons of heaven began to desire humans. So that reference right there is very interesting. But yeah, I know he's technically one of the, quote, fallen angels. But I don't really know much about Azazel, to be honest. So I couldn't really speak on it too much. Hello, Aaron. What's up? How are you? Sending all your cool emojis my way. Ipsissimus asks, is Azazel an archangel? Nah, I mean, he was an archangel, I think, but he's considered like more of a fallen angel. And I don't really know how those types of angels, I know there's people who work with like Azazel and spirits like that, but I'm not knowledgeable enough to really speak on it or anything. I think Michael Ford he talks about Azazel a bit. I'd be interested to know if Universal Mastery maybe has a video on that. He might, because that seems more like a spirit or an energy that he might work with. Ipsissimus says that book is really good, left-hand path info. Yeah, dude, even if you're not a left-hand pather, because like I'm not, I just study the philosophy. I love it. Like, I think the knowledge is fucking amazing. It's one of my favorite books ever now. Thomas Carlson's Qliphoth and Goetic Magic, or Kabbalah, Qliphoth and Goetic Magic, because it gives you a rundown of the whole Sephiroth tree and the Tree of Death, which I also do in my book as well on the Patreon. So you'll get access to that if you decide to join the Patreon. Sorry, it was the one that holds God's secrets. I had the wrong angel. Oh yeah, Raziel. Yep, the keeper of the secrets of God. That's actually my son's name. I think Raziel is my favorite archangel. Really, probably favorite spirit. I've worked extensively with that energy like 2 or 3 times, and every time it was really profound. I know one time I did an invocation of Raziel, and I did it like in front of a group of people, and I really shouldn't have. I mean, they were all really close friends, but they're not like practitioners themselves. So really, under normal circumstances, you wouldn't want to do that. But I remember when I was drawing the pentagrams and drawing the circle, the walls started to creak. Like you could very clearly hear it. It was like, that was interesting. But yeah, Raziel's like, he's super cool. He's like an overseer. He oversees like all the karma and stuff. Because symbolically, he holds a giant book. He holds a giant book, which is like the Akashic record, which keeps the record of all the deeds of all beings. And he doesn't close the grand book until the cycle's complete, until all sentient beings have gotten to that point, and then the book gets shut. So it's almost like at the end of the great day, at the end of the journey, quote unquote, because I don't think there really is an end to the journey. Even if there is an end to the journey, it begins again. It starts over again in a new way. It's almost like game +1 in Elden Ring. If you guys play that, which I'm actually about to start that. I'm trying to beat the last boss of the DLC, but it is super duper hard. Definitely comment down below if any of you play Elden Ring, because I love it. It took me a long time to get the hang of it, because it's really, really tough. Also, make sure we are getting the thumbs up in here as well. Definitely appreciate that. I'm sorry, guys. My nose has been so snotty too. I should have brought some tissues. JP says, I want to join the Freemasons someday after I have more time in my life. Do I just go into my local lodge and tell them I want to join? Any tips? Yeah, pretty much. And also, let me know if you know what kind of, I guess I could Google it, but I am interested to know what kind of camera it would take to do video game videos, because it's something I've done as a kid. I've always like played games and had friends over and we just talk while we're playing. So it would be cool to do some esoteric like type stuff, and I could really pick out all the little nuances of the games like as I'm playing it, and point out like, ooh, that's super Masonic, or that's super occult, whatever, If you want to join the Masons though, yeah, just either go and visit your local lodge or go to your local lodge's website, if they have one, and then figure out what night their meetings are. And then you can just go there like right before the meeting starts one of the nights and talk to a few of the guys. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to talk to you. There's also, I think if you go to the Grand Lodge of Ohio's website, they have a lodge locator on there. So you just type in like what your lodge is, and then you can fill out what's called a petition. And I think the petitions cost like $60 or something anymore. And then there's like a $14 like background fee, and then you just do the background check and you fill out the petition, and then the lodge gets back with you, and then they tell you when your initiation date is. So that's pretty much how that process goes down. I want a pact with Mephistopheles. Do you? That didn't work out so well for what's his name? Oh my gosh, Faustian. Me and my buddy, we watched like a really crazy, trippy Faust movie back in the day. I almost want to say it was like, I can't remember if it was real actors or if it was some kind of claymation type thing. It was really weird though. I do remember that, and kind of creepy. Ipsissimus says, I haven't done any practice for a few days. I don't know, but a pause feels good right now. Just honor that then. Honor the fact that you're feeling like you need to take a break. Because honestly, yesterday, I did an invoking ritual. I did an invoking of Raphael yesterday. In all four directions, as I did the lesser invoking ritual, the pentagram. So I'm just kind of letting that energy ride out today. I don't feel super inclined to do any practices today. Maybe like later in the night, if I feel that, that it's necessary. But otherwise, just go with the flow. Some people say if you stop the work that it really like messes you up. And I don't think that's really true. That's only if you're really trying to work your way up to something like a powerful operation like the Celestial Lotus, for instance, like Damien Eccles. If you have a regiment for that and you're trying to work your way up to it, you should stay consistent with it. But same with like the Abramelin operation or something like that. But if you just take a day or two break, that's not a big deal. And then if you're like me and you're not doing practices all the time anymore, then it doesn't really matter anymore. Some people might really disagree with that, but you just have to honor your own process. So, and sometimes I try not to get so caught up in the magic of magic, there's a lot of magic in the real world. And I think that's the ultimate trump card that you can play, is that really you don't have to do magic. It's just something that helps empower you even more. And I never really regret it when I do it. So yeah. I usually, a lot of the times after I get done, I'm like, wow, I feel very relaxed. And this is why I remember now why I do this, because it feels good and it allows me to get into a place where I'm in a relaxed state. So I hope that helps out, Ipsissimus. Last karmic life. Where have you been? My comments, again, ain't getting through. Weird. So is YouTube just not allowing you to comment? It's good to have you in here. I've wondered where the hell you've been. JP, thanks man, I appreciate you. You're welcome, no problem. Last Karmic says, I said live, missed a lot of my comments, and then weird, yeah, I can't even understand what you're saying in that comment right there. Matt B says, stopping practice and restarting drugs was a terrible choice for me. Yeah, yep. That's definitely not a good choice. I'm definitely totally against hard drugs, of any form, really. I've got a buddy that's actually, he's really been struggling with a cocaine problem, and it's getting the best of him, unfortunately. So, and I'm really fucking sad to see that happen, because it needs to not happen. But yeah, things like cannabis and stuff like that, that's a much different story. I'm an advocate of it. But I think ultimately, if you want to be the best with your practices, you're best off just not doing anything. You're best off just maintaining a sober lifestyle. Karmic says my comments get blocked. Yeah, that's really weird. Very strange indeed. Wonder what's going on with that. JP says, every time I try to stick up for the Freemasons in YouTube comments, my comments always get deleted. Yeah, that's really weird. It's really weird. There's a lot of people who don't like Freemasons, like, and it kind of worries me sometimes, because I heard there was a hate crime, like somebody got shot or something, and it's fucking terrible. It's you know, we should be mature enough as adults this day and age where people can have their own opinions, like people can believe what they want to believe, but people are fear mongers, and they end up believing things that just aren't true about certain groups and stuff. You know, and really the group's just trying to help society and help people build themselves up. And then they become targets of hate and violence. It's really weird. So. But yeah, that's really weird. There's some YouTube channels, and I'm definitely not gonna name them, but they put way too much, yeah, I don't know. They just attack it way too much. They see it as something like evil or satanic, but they're not really understanding what the deeper component of it is, like what it's really like about. It's a journey of self. Last Karmic says, yeah, I wonder why, LOL, because I have re-uploaded my master's esoteric occult knowledge. Huh. Maybe that's why. Is he saying something that they must really not want him to say, huh? I mean, that's why I'm kind of careful about some things that I say. I'm not just going to be a completely, like, not filtered on social media, you know, but I feel like I feel like I'm able to pretty much say everything I do need to say, though, so I am thankful for that. I do talk about a lot of different things on my channel, but I don't think any of it's inappropriate. I don't think any secrets are being, you know, there's no super secret esoteric occult thing that's being like revealed. It's mostly just my own perspectives, and it's coming from information that's already out there that people can already find. So really just like bringing the information here. Ipsissimus says, I won't stop the work. I feel good about a little pause, and I feel when I start practice again, this pause was useful. Thanks for your thoughts. Yeah, absolutely. I think just listen to what your body's telling you, because if you're like really tired, and this is just an example, if you're really tired or something and you're just feeling drained, like it's much better to just get your rest, like rest up. And then that's why a lot of people's immune systems suck, because they're just not getting the rest they need. The society just wants to push and push and push and push. You know, people work way too many hours, I think, and it just fucks with their health. And people don't understand like how to conserve energy and like how important it is, and humanity's just kind of really like lost and confused. But it's also part of the matrix system it has a purpose in pushing us towards our highest goals through adversity, through strife. So it's that friction that creates the black diamond. And you're welcome, Ipsissimus. Matt B says, yikes. Or Ipsissimus says, Matt B, yikes. Yep, for sure. JP, a lot of truthers gone wild out there, probably deleting your comments. I feel like alcohol is the worst. It cuts the connection to the spirit. Yeah, I don't really drink anymore, because anytime I drink, I feel like it actually just gets my energy off balance. Now, if it's like some wine or something, I'll have like a glass or two of some wine. If it's good, if it's tasty stuff. But yeah, I really don't drink that often. Like maybe every like 6 months or so, if somebody has a drink or something. You know, margaritas are kind of fun. Those are, or like a fancy restaurant drink or something, you know. But overall, yeah, it's not a big fan. My dad was really like, he was drinking a lot of alcohol there towards the end. and it was killing him. It was killing him basically. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the alcohol. I think it was like a year and a month ago or something, a year and 2 months ago. I had like 3 shots of Tito's, and that was it. Just like 3 shots, in the course of maybe 45 minutes. And I didn't get drunk. I got buzzed for about an hour, but then I was just sick all night. It's like my body just totally rejected it. And see, I was a heavy alcohol drinker from like the age of 19 to probably 22. Like I was drinking a lot, pretty much every day. Like I'd wake up in the morning and drink. A drink and have a cigarette. Yeah, it was crazy. And coffee. So. Last Karmic says, say their names. Of course, Ty, have a look at his work. I like alcohol, but I hate it too. It really is bad shit. Yeah, there's nothing that awesome about it, to be real. It's not like a desirable state of consciousness. So I can meditate and feel a lot better. JP, I used to be a conspiracy theorist. Same. I was like around 2012. I watched excuse me. I watched that Zeitgeist documentary. It talks about like the Federal Reserve. It talks about all the solar deities that have their birthday on December 25th. That was like my first eye-opening documentary. I'm like, holy shit. Like nothing they told me about was real. It's all kind of lies. And then I started to do further research. But yeah, nowadays I don't get caught up in the conspiracy stuff. I know people that still do. But most of those people are dealing with some kind of mental thing, or they have like drug addiction problems too. So, yeah, that tends to be the kind of people that gravitate more towards the conspiracy stuff. But no, it's healthy to have that open curiosity for a while and study all of it and see what the hell it's all about, because you want to know, right? You want to be educated. But the idea is just you just don't want to focus on that for too long. Because it's not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to make you angry, and you need to work on your own experience. Remember that your infinite awareness shifting through reality. Like what does that have to do with your journey? Like whatever that conspiracy is, like just focus on you. The things that are going to happen are going to happen. Take your power, take your control as a magus, as a wizard, as a witch, whatever it is you are. Titles are just titles. Like people get way too caught up on that stuff. But just know who you are and shine forth. Be strong. Your will is strong. So use that to shape and mold your reality. I used to be a conspiracy theorist and didn't trust the Masons, and then realized I have nothing to fear but God and need to treat all with respect. Then I realized the Masons aren't the bad guys. No, it's kind of funny because the Masons I know are all doing like good work. Like honestly, I think if it wasn't for the Masons, like society would be a shit show, because they've kind of kept this foundation, and then they've kind of helped keep this control to where things are like not totally falling apart. It's just a brotherhood of people who really care is what it is. And they do good works and they get demonized just because they perform certain ceremonies, which, I mean, really that's all they are. They're just like ceremonies. It's not like ritual magic where in the Golden Dawn, like you're doing like, different magical procedures. It's not like that. Like Freemasonry is not like that. It's much more just like theater, like a play. It's very theatrical. That's like how the degrees are portrayed. But there is a very deep spiritual component to it, almost like a shamanistic component that you become for the community. You learn to become a shaman for your own community, for the world at large. Really, Freemasonry is just figuring out how to you can best be, the best asset you can be for the world, whatever that means for you. Each person has a different path, a different sacred tradition. They don't follow, there is no like one religion or one path they say to follow. Some people read the Quran, some people read the Bible, whatever your sacred text is, So yeah, JP, you're smart to understand that now. The people, I guess, who would be more considered the quote-unquote bad guys, even though if you pull the magnifying glass back at the end of the day, it's not even really what it is. It's not good and bad. It's definitely going to seem that way from where we are in the grand scheme of things, but those really, like the shadow government, the shady type of people, they you're never going to know who those people are. I don't know them. What's up, man? So yeah, those people are always going to be in the shadows, like the people who, use the presidents or the politicians or whatever to play out certain events in the mass collective, or to pump certain influences through the music industry, the movie industry. The people who are pulling the strings on all that shit, like you're never going to know them. You're never going to know who they are. And really, they don't have as much power as they think they do. It's like people just give away their power freely because they don't know any better. So they're kind of just honestly, at the end of the day, the sheep are so easily herded. I can't say that I would have done much different myself. It sounds kind of fucked up, but I kind of understand where like the elite is coming from, because I don't know if elite's even a proper word, but there has to be some catalyst. There has to be some catalyst. There has to be some form of evolution, which is like pushing the herd forward. So somebody's got to do that job. Me, I'm seeing all that as the interplay of the two pillars, the dualities playing back and forth, whether it be politics or whatever, and I'm walking in between those two pillars. That's what it means to be in between the pillars. Nope, I was there for a second. Working again? All right. What I was getting at, though, is if you just focus on your own goals, all that stuff, the troubles of the world will eventually kind of just shift themselves out of your reality. Don't get caught up. Don't get so caught up in the play of falsehoods, deceptions. It's just a game. It's a game that's got to be played, though. At this point in time, for the certain growth and development and catalysts and all those sorts of things, people got to be prodded a little bit sometimes. So it's not like there's like, there's reasons for all of these things that we don't quite understand. It's hard to know what's myth and what's actual truth as well. Because I think a lot of stuff just gets made up or it gets exaggerated, when really at the end of the day, it wasn't such a big and crazy deal at all. It was just some people making some decisions, about things that had to be done or pushed forward. Last Karmic says, rest in peace to your old boy. My dad, yeah. It's been like 5 months now, maybe 4 or 5 months. It's been rough. It's been rough on top of everything else I've been going through too, but I am in a place where I am much more accepting of things, and living with my mom too, so she's not lonely, which is nice. We're able to hang out together. So thank you, Karmic. Do you know any info about Archon spirits? Not necessarily. I just know that Archons, just like every other force in the cosmos, they have their role to play. I believe Archons are aren't they supposed to be like the servants of the demiurge, which is kind of like a false god, quote unquote, lowercase god, who rules like the physical world, but he's not the god of all existence. He's not the source awareness. So they're kind of like these quote unquote lower spirits or so that can kind of come in and mess with you. I think archons are very present like in grocery stores or any kind of like store where people they go in there and people don't understand how their thoughts and their emotions and their negativity seeps into the environment, and then the archons just feed on that shit. So I don't have any like specific information on archons, but there's a lot of different literature out there. I think Manly P. Hall even talks about them a little bit. But yeah, I try not to, some people get really scared of that stuff. Like, I don't think there's anything to fear. If the archons are giving you problems, then there's some kind of energetic resonance that you're attracting to you to be in resonance with the discord of the archons, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that answers your question at all, but yeah, I mean, they're troublesome little things, I think, but remember, they'd play their role at the end of the day. Just like flies and mosquitoes are fucking annoying, but they help in the circle of life. So the wheel goes on. Your healer is here. Are you my healer, Melanin? Ipsissimus says, what are your thoughts on the Great Awakening? Are people waking up or not? Well, I mean, there's always going to be, I mean, people have, you know, it's when it's their time, it's their time. You know, not everyone's meant to know this type of stuff. Not everyone's meant to quote unquote, like wake up necessarily, because there might be a role in the matrix that they're meant to play, but their spirit's not ready to be an alive and awakened and a conscious one within this construct yet. That's not a tough place, or I'm sorry, it's not an easy place to necessarily be. To be like an illuminated, awakened spirit within this society, it often makes you feel out of place. And if you're on any kind of initiatic journey, you know, or you follow a spiritual system where you're on a real spiritual path, you know, that's not meant for everyone. So when it's time, it's time. My shift really started to happen around 2012. Like, that's when I had my awakening. Like, that's when things really started to shift for me. And then I've expanded in knowledge ever since then, and in power. But there have been some things that have tried to hold me down, but they can't. So, but yeah, overall awakening, I mean, and there's a lot of woke people out there too that think they're awake, but they really don't know shit. And I see that a lot, like in the new age spiritual community, or like, shit, if I go to music festivals, there's a lot of people that are quote unquote spiritual, but they don't have practices that they do. A lot of them just do a lot of drugs and stuff. And then I don't think they can sit and have a conversation for very long. Like, a lot of people, it's just all love and light and like unconditional love, but that's like all they know about the spiritual, you know, path or spirituality in general. And it's not all about, you know, a pleasant time. There's actually a lot of pain that comes with it, but that's part of the process. So yeah, it's interesting. And then there's this whole community of people that are like the chosen ones, like why chosen ones can't have friends and stuff. You ever see those videos? I'm like, what the hell? Like, really, everyone's a potential chosen one. It's like whether or not you decide to align yourself with that and follow your life's true purpose, you know, everyone's a potential chosen one. That's really what all the movies and stuff are trying to tell you at the end of the day. Like, yeah, that character's the chosen one, but that's because they took the proper actions and backed it up. They exercised their will, like through the doing of it, of being, embodying it. So Freemasons keep this typey realm in balance. Yep, most definitely. There's a lot of balancing forces out there, and that's definitely one of them. That's definitely one of the one of the groups that helps keep helps keep some stability, right? JP says, yeah, I learned all the good works they do and never take credit for it. The Bible says to judge by fruits. Exactly, because we're often taught in Masonry, like, to do good actions, but like not seek attention for it. You know, we don't go around like, you know, advertising all the time, like, oh, I did this or oh, I did that. I think the best acts of kindness or acts of goodness are always going to be acts that aren't really advertised. Or you're not on social media just like exclaiming, you know, so proudly, you know, what you've done. I think they found out that what Keanu Reeves was raising a bunch of money for charity, and like nobody even knew about it. Nobody was talking about it. But then it finally came out. So stuff like that, you know, anonymous people who donate large sums of money, like stuff like that's really cool. Like they just want to do good just for the sake of doing good, not for the attention seeking of it, you know? I think there's something really beautiful to that. Cross the street here. Get on the sidewalk. Knowledge 2020 says, what is jobulon? So it's like a composite word. It comes from, I can't really speak too much on it, but what are they called? Like prefixes. There's 3 syllables in that word, and each one represents a different aspect of source or source awareness. It also represents different energies or entities that have their domain in the governance of the universe. It's a lot like Lucifer. Like Lucifer is like an overseeing or overarching presiding spirit over this, particularly like this local galaxy, I think. So there's different energies, different star type energies you can tap into. And that's a 3-fold name. You can look it up online. I won't really go much more into it than that. Glad to have you on here, back on here, Knowledge 2020. So I know you were on the live stream yesterday. And I'll get around to answering your questions at some point. If you want to ask them again on here, you definitely can. Knowledge 2020 says, and I definitely agree, we couldn't stop any of the elites. Yeah, it's not that nothing needs to be stopped, though, really. It's, I don't know, things just have to play themselves out. And I mean, when you use the word elite, what does elite really mean? What does Illuminati really mean? It really means enlightened ones. So are the people that everyone's claiming to be Illuminati, are they really even Illuminati? Probably not. Was it supposed to be like Beyonce or something? One of those pop artists that are supposed to be Illuminati or whatever? I don't think so. I think that's bullshit. They can call their club whatever they want to, but I don't know that they're really enlightened souls that truly understand, you know, these sorts of things. Knowledge 2020 at last life, asking a question, not telling you. Agent Smith, what the fuck you on about? Last karmic life, he came out of nowhere with that one. The Gnostics explain the archons, the planets. Yeah, the Gnostics are the ones who do cover like they talk about the archons quite a bit, for sure. Dr. Zero, what's up, man? How are you? Glad to have you in here. A pleasure as always. I see you popping in on some other like live streams and stuff from other esoteric channels, so it's cool to have you in here. Knowledge 2020 says, I've read the Gnostic text. It specifically says they are the planets. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's like the planets have consciousness, they have awareness. There's also life that lives there, but it's not physical life. It's more like on an astral or more subtle level. So there can be like entire civilizations that exist within the sphere or within the influence of those planets, but we would never be able to perceive them as physical beings. So even where we are right now, like in this environment, there's a lot of realities overlaying or overlapping this one. So it's really, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it at the end of the day. But I don't really claim to be like a professional on any of it. I'm just kind of learning, you know, just like all of you. My neighbor is probably Archon, bro. Doesn't shut the fuck up. That's funny. Maybe. Last Karmic says, I am full out of balance at the moment. Thank you. But the planets aren't good or bad, but give off both types of energy. Yeah, of course. There's always going to be the positive and the negative types of energetic influences. Creating that balance, bringing balance to the Force. That's what they talk about in Star Wars. OP is really delayed with the comments. Are the comments lagging? Or taking forever? If you understand astrology, you should already know the planets give off both good and bad energy. Yep, makes sense. Gnosticism is just another interpretation of the stars, like every other culture prior. Yeah, it's all about the stars. And angels are said to be stars. So if Archangel, like Raziel, for instance, is the Archangel of the firmament or the stars, does that make him the Archangel of all the angels? It was kind of an interesting thought I had. This is a silly thought I had earlier today, too. I'd never thought of it before. If a king rules a kingdom, and it's called a kingdom, if a queen rules, why is it not called a queendom? You ever wondered about that? It would make sense, queendom and kingdom, but usually you have a king and a queen, but it's still called a kingdom. Kingdom, it's silly. The last 2,500 years has been the age of patriarchy or whatever, so it's always the male force dominating all these religions, when really any spiritual belief or tradition should include both polarities if you really want to understand what's going on. Knowledge 2020 and sidereal Vedic astrology is where it's at, brother. Yeah, that's what Karmic says too. Last Karmic has always gone on about how the sidereal astrology is the proper astrology. I really only usually work with tropical, just because that makes me a Scorpio, and I have Scorpio in 4 planets, which I really resonate with that. Because I can't seem to explain it away any other way. It makes so much sense why I am the way I am. I would be interested to see my entire birth chart in the sidereal. I only know that my sun sign in sidereal would be Libra instead of Scorpio, which I could see that too, because I'm often like an intermediary or a balancer of energies. I do that a lot. I have to kind of be I'm the Tyler. I'm the one who pulls the energies together, so to speak. How can you get Ty to understand tropical as mainstream PS? Yeah, I mean, I guess I just need to study sidereal, but astrology is also one of the things that at the end of the day, I don't want to be ruled or governed by it. Astrology is nice to understand the archetypes of what the signs mean, and what sign is the moon in, because that's going to kind of give you an idea of what the energy is going to bring. But I also don't want astrology to dictate my life in any kind of way. I like to learn about what tendencies might be, and then I take those tendencies of which direction the energy might move into account, but I don't base my life off of it. Just because I have a lot of Scorpio doesn't mean I'm gonna try to act a certain way. gives me a little bit more insight as to how I may need to adjust the energies or work with certain things, you know? So. How's it going? Last Karmic says, you should watch Levette. Not sure who that is. He's asking because I mentioned his name earlier, but style didn't get comment, was blocked. Interesting. JP says, the Bible teaches God will reward you for the good works and charity you do in secret and not do openly for attention. Yep, makes sense. All the cool kids study Siberia. I'll have to get on that then. Like, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm not trying to argue or anything, but I'm just telling you what I know, which isn't a lot, but enlightened ones, yes. The term Illuminati is a compliment to the secret society, folk. Yeah, the actual Bavarian Illuminati, what was that, like back in like the 1700s, is that right? And you can actually, if you want to, it's all public now. You can go on Amazon and order like the complete rituals and documentation of the Illuminati as it existed in Bavaria. So any other groups that have formed since then, I mean, they might call themselves Illuminati, but to me, I think the Illuminati, the real Illuminati, is people like you and me, like, that are trying to bring information together, that are trying to be conscious of all of these principles and, you know, taking this journey and going through life with this journey and walking with self and like learning more about self, because it is all about the self, not from like a lower ego standpoint, but you are the universe experiencing itself through this experience. So yeah, we all have the potential to be Illuminati. That's not something that like belongs to certain people, but there are certain people who are just not going to, they're not going to have like the proper genetics or the DNA to tap into those currents of energy necessarily. So a lot of it does have to do with bloodline, and if you have magic in your blood, or if you have relatives that have been involved in practices, that can kind of help you to put you more in energetic resonance with, you know, the mysteries being a heavy part of your life, so to speak. Melanie says, yeah, I'll heal anyone. Heck yeah. I know there's some people who like warn about trying to heal other people, but I see it as a benevolent thing. Usually if you're going to do like heavy energy work on someone, you definitely want to let them know or get their permission first. But yeah, I had somebody who offered to do Reiki for me, like distance Reiki, and I turned it down. I was like, nah, we got 11 people in here. Make sure we're getting the thumbs up, everyone, too. I really appreciate that. But yeah, if you're healing other people, you want to make sure you're really, really healed within yourself before you try and do that. Because you can just kind of transfer like things to other people that maybe that an attachment that like you might have, like for instance, say like somebody who smokes cigarettes is trying to heal somebody from, you know, the damage of cigarettes or what cigarettes have done to their body. So that person who smokes cigarettes or has that same problem, they probably shouldn't go around trying to heal people. Some people say too that the pain that you're experiencing, if you try to bypass the pain or the lesson by being healed, it could take the lesson away. So you may be karmically having to go through a trauma or an experience of major pain as a lesson. So you don't necessarily want to bypass all those lessons either. It's a mixture. You know, it's a hard line to really understand, because I think the idea of healing people is great. I did send some healing energy to somebody the other day, and I think it worked. You know, I think it was beneficial. I didn't do like a major, you know, operation or anything. I just set my intention, and asked for the person to be healed. So yeah, I mean, really, any of us can just send good intentions, towards another person, and it's the same with negative thoughts or negative intentions. Even if it's not a full-blown practice or ritual, your intentions and your thoughts still create, quite a bit of change in this reality. So it's just something to be mindful of. But I do appreciate your healing energy. You're bringing healing energy just by being here, Melanin. So thank you for that. This whole process has been healing, this whole live stream. Let's see, we've gone for an hour and 25 minutes. Yeah, it definitely hasn't felt that long. It's only felt like 30 or 40 minutes. But yeah, I probably walked a good 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles already. I don't have too much longer to go. I've probably got another 20 minutes of walking. So if there is anything you guys want to ask, go ahead and feel free to do that. Dr. Zeus. Ipsissimus says, planets kind of have the attributes that keeps us in the physical realm. Yeah, it is kind of like a matrix or an overlay system, which keeps us, really, the physical realm intact. I do agree with that. I guess it's the same with like the Great Pyramids and stuff. If the Great Pyramids were not, if they weren't located where they're located, they affect the ley lines of the planet and stuff. The planet would be in discordance without those even being there, without those structures being there. And I think that's really interesting to take into account. Knowledge 2020, I like your channel. I feel like I can learn a lot of things I've not figured out yet here. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I just think I do have some really unique perspectives on things. I've studied a lot of things. I've been through Freemasonry. I used to practice quite regularly, like my more Golden Dawn exercises, like the Lesser Ritual of the Pentagram, the Middle Pillar, and all that type of stuff. I used to do that on a daily basis. I'd keep a journal. I'd go to the woods every single day. And I did that for like 2 to 3 years. And then I just really slowed down. I've been through a lot of interesting life experiences since 2020. 2020 was another one of those like super shifting points on a grand scale, as well as on a personal level too. And now I have like a child and everything. So life's just been like way different. So I'm just trying to keep up with this kind of stuff as much as I can anymore, and like try to enjoy doing it. Like I'm not trying to make like a job out of it per se, but it would be nice to like make some income from the YouTube channel. I don't make any money from YouTube, but I have made some money from Patreon, so that's been really nice. Thanks to Last Karmic Life on here. She's been one of my main supporters. So. Dr. Seuss. Yeah, maybe it's The Simpsons. There's a lot of truth in the Simpsons shows. It's actually funny because like I guess he was like my stepson or whatever. I guess he kind of still is in some ways, but he's like a huge Simpsons fan. He loves that show, but yeah, there's all kinds of predictive programming in The Simpsons. I don't know how they know a lot of the shit they knew. I mean, the creators of that show, they must have some pretty interesting friends or something. Or there's somebody channeling messages. Either way, I mean, whether people know it or not, when they create movies, when they create video games, when they create music, when that stuff's being created, it's being channeled by higher forces. Even though the artist is still like making it, what is it that's operating through their mind, through their consciousness? It's not all their own thoughts. It's information and stuff that's being channeled into them. They're being a vessel. They are a vessel that's being used to promote certain ideas, concepts, archetypes of existence, etc. Yeah, the planets are also considered angels. Yeah, I know that on the Sephirothic tree, you've got a different archangel for each sphere, typically. The Sandalphon, Malkuth, Gabriel, and Yesod. It's a different version of Gabriel than the lesser ritual, though, of the pentagram. It's that Gabriel, according to Damien Eccles, wears like a purple robe and a crescent moon crown. So it's a little bit different than the traditional blue Gabriel. Not sure if you've read Damien Eccles, Angels and Archangels. I highly recommend that book for anybody who is into any of the material that I have on this channel. I highly recommend his book. Yes, Truth Bomb City. Maybe I do have a lot of Scorpio and Sidereal. Do you guys know if there's a good website that you can do that on? Because I know Cafe Astrology is where I go to get my tropical chart. I don't even know do they have an option to do a sidereal chart? I'm not really sure. 14 people in here. This is awesome. Make sure we're getting the thumbs up in here, everybody. So it helps the channel grow. It helps it expand. How's it going? Yeah, maybe that would be cool to know if I have a lot of Scorpio and Sidereal. I bet I do. I've got to have at least some because I resonate with that sign so much. It's literally everything that I am, like, is a part of that, like sex, death, and the occult. Or more, I guess more appropriately or more accurately, sex, transformation, and the occult sums up Scorpio. Kind of like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Like, I've been a musician. I've been out lots of places. I've seen a lot of shit. So I kind of partially lived that lifestyle, and it's really not a lifestyle that you want to get caught up in. Not gonna lie. It's great to be able to make music. It's great to be able to share it with people, but I feel like once you get big in the music industry, they literally just suck you dry. It's really hard to balance that kind of lifestyle and stay healthy, like mentally. A lot of people have problems. So for me, I never wanted fame. I just wanted to be able to perform music for the people who would appreciate it the most. That's what I've always wished for. Last Karmic, Red Queen, Scarlet Woman. Had a Scarlet Woman just shown up to me lately. She's got some red in her hair. It's highly symbolic. Umbrella, Corp. Levette shows you how tropical's BS. Interesting. Her ex-partner was a Mason. The Illuminati were the good ones, laughing my ass off, not the other way around. Yeah, they were like really like kind of conservative in a lot of ways. Like the original Illuminati, it was almost like, it was like a new version of church where it's like, you're actually learning about the mysteries of stuff. Like, you're not just going and being like, oh, if you sin, you're going to hell. Like, no, you're actually being taught lessons. You're actually being taught allegories. And you're actually doing good works in the community, in the world. That's what the original Illuminati was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be a place that people could come and do research. Because at that time, people were persecuted for having, like, different beliefs and stuff. The church still had a lot of power. So so secret societies had to be secret. They had to go underground. We live in a different day and age now where people can actually talk about these kind of things and not get burnt at the fucking stake, So, as above, so below, as within, so without. Always. Yep. I always reiterate that. History is inverted. Yep. My great-grandfather, Anzac, was a Mason, and on his side goes all the way up to the King of Scotland. That's awesome. I remember you saying that about the king, like being related to the king. It's pretty dope. The second and related to Robert, the Bruce, and the bad one too, so I have good and bad blood in me. Well, that's all right. That's we all have the tree of life and the tree of death within us. Isn't that right? Equilibrium, exactly. Need pain for growth, no growth without resistance. Very true. And that's kind of what the very the very bottom of the tree of life, the very bottom of the tree of life, or the top of the tree of death, not the tree of life, I keep saying that. The tree of death, or the Qliphothic tree, Thaumael is the final sphere on there. And that's literally it's the utmost friction that can exist within like two principles. So it's that pressure coming from both sides. It's Satan and Moloch like at war with each other. But through that pressure, through that adversity, through the balancing and the equations working themselves out, and the sides reconciling each other's through wars, through destructions, and through rebirths, that's how these energies manifest. So it's like there's so much occult stuff to understand to all of this. Got the paperwork, coat of arms. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Sweet. Clousy? Interesting. Have you ever considered maybe being his current incarnation? That would be dope. Was Robert the Bruce Mel Gibson one related to him in the bad one? I might be an incarnation of my grandfather. Never met the guy, and my mom says we act similar. Maybe. I think that's a thing. I think that like we reincarnate within our own bloodlines. That would make so much sense. Like, because you would already have the DNA. Your soul would already be at a resonance to like overtake or inhabit the physical body with that specific DNA, you know? Yeah, 2020 was the beginning of the consciousness boost for sure. High Lodge boys, come on now. It's downloads. The energies come from the planets and any of us can tap in. Exactly. Yep, I needed this. Been too pissed off with dogs. Yeah, glad you could make it in, Karmic. Glad you could make it in. Yeah, bro, TV show story writers got the deets from their lodges. Yep. Speaking of that, have any of you seen on Gaia, there's a new like Knights Templar special about the Knights Templar and the Atlantis connection. And what's really cool is they actually have the Grand Master of the Knights Templar on there. I thought that was so cool, and it makes it like a lot more credible. So it's not, it's not just like some new age bullshit kind of stuff. It's actually real, legit like findings and research. I brought the book because you told us. Mastering the Zodiac. Do you still do the thing where I can pay to call and talk to you? Yeah, honestly, JP, I don't know how you would pay to talk to me. I'd have to see if maybe we could use like Apple Pay or something like that. I'm not sure. I might just be willing to talk. We can figure that out. If you want to email me, my email, go to my YouTube channel description, and it should be right in there, and it should be in the description of most of my videos. So there should be an email link. Just email me. If I don't respond right away, I don't always keep up with my emails every single day because I get a lot of emails. I get a lot of junk emails. I probably get like 50 emails a day or some bullshit like that. So, and I usually try to check my junk and spam folders too in case anything gets tossed in there. So yeah, just email me. We'll talk about that, JP. Y'all need to get off this BS of tropical lies. Purification of the body, mind, and soul, or alchemy. Yes. Granddaddy was a conspiracist at heart like me. Nice. JP, write him up on a piece of paper. I owe you money. Used to work back in the day as a kid. So yeah, I'm about to finish my walk here soon, everyone, I think. Unless I decide to go over to the woods here for a moment. again. I kind of started the video in the woods, and now I've walked all the way around the block, which I think this whole square, it is pretty much just a giant, almost like a giant square. It's not a perfect square, but it's probably like 2.5 miles. I probably walked like at least 2.5 miles, 3 miles while doing this stream. And I mean, I don't know why I wore flip-flops. I really should have worn tennis shoes, but it's still been nice to get out and, you know. Was your granddad a CT? A CT? What's that? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep up with your guys' conversation between Karmic and not sure how to read your name there. But what language is that? Claws. Queen. Okay. Yeah, I'm not, you guys kind of lost me. I'm not sure. Not really sure what you guys are talking about. We've got 12 people in here now. Welcome in, everyone. I wasn't really going to do this live stream much longer, but if anyone has any questions, if anyone wants to talk about anything, make sure you drop down in the comments and get the questions in here. Make sure we get the thumbs up in here. Dehydrated? Maybe. Is that why I have the sniffles? I've had drainage going on like the whole past week. I've actually, last Karmic, I've been better. But it's been really rough. Jojo. All right, let me get my stand. Oh, goodness. Whew. Oh, there we go. I just needed a tissue the whole time. Sorry, guys, that's pretty gross. Charmander's overheating you, bro. That's hilarious. He's Mr. Kitty. Hi, Mr. Kitty. Sir Xavier. He's been all about sitting in my lap recently. He's getting old. He's an old kitty, aren't ya? Xavier. He's got to be like, I think he's like 14 now. But he's still got really pretty hair, don't ya? Oh. Oh. Yeah, he is a pretty cat. I always thought he was a pretty kitty. Aren't ya? Yeah. Yeah. He's a pretty boy. I don't know what breed he is. I always kind of wondered that. He's just some kind of long hair. I don't like Persians have bigger, fatter faces, don't they? So I don't think he's a Persian unless he's unless he's mixed with a Persian. But yeah, he's got a much prettier face, I think. And then there's my other one, little Bella. Say hi, Bella. She's the one that's like really spiritually in tune. I think she's the one that's a little more aware of the two cats when it comes to like energetic shifts and things of that nature. He does love cuddles. He's ridiculous. He's trying to make himself a little bed right in my lap. He just can't quite get comfortable. Just legs sticking out. You're silly, dude. You're silly. Sweet. Yeah, that makes sense. Animals have a frequency that matches to a particular planet. Makes sense. And I know that nobody like really resonates completely with one planet. Like we all have different degrees of influence like from the different planets. So some planets may affect us more, whereas other planets will not affect as much. Yeah, I was singing for somebody earlier this morning, and yeah, just with the seasonal changes and everything, my singing voice has been shot like the past couple of days, so I just did not sound nearly as good, singing today as I normally would. I need to watch the latest movie, Puss in Boots. Heard it goes hard. Dang. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the movies that are just about Puss in Boots, like just that story. I've just watched like the Shrek movies. Is it like four Shrek movies now? Last Karmic says, yes, become a vegan 2020. Woo! Yep, already understood and agreed. So we're at 109 minutes in here so far, so we've almost hit the 2-hour mark. I know one night when I was at the old house, Karmic was on a live stream with me, and I think, didn't we go for like 4 hours? I think we went for like over 4 hours that night, like in the live stream. It was a crazy night. It was cool. We had lots of energy. I remember singing songs on the guitar and everything. So yeah, Shrek's definitely better. I agree. Yeah, it's been almost 2 hours. I know, Karmic, you didn't really pop in at the very beginning, I don't think. Or maybe you did and it just wasn't letting you comment. Yeah, some fruit. Oh, fruit is great. Yeah, I should actually be drinking some water. Probably I can see a bottle of water. Hey now, Mr. Kitty, I need to get up and get me some water. You can deal with it, huh? You can deal with it. Yeah, he's a silly dweeb. Well, 4 hours. I remember that. Then your boy came out and you ended it. Yeah. Yep. Yep. He woke up from his nap. So, yeah, there's no way I can like record a video or do a live stream like of any kind when I'm watching him. He definitely he needs my full attention. There's been like a video or two I've done, like, you know, I just filmed like a video in the car like while I'm driving. I do that quite a bit though. That would be like the only way. Everybody's thirsty. Yeah, everybody be thirsty these days, right? I became vegan a few years ago, knowledge says. There are plenty of different methods to get protein. Yeah, it's a good thing to do. You just have to make sure you're doing it right. Because I tried to go vegetarian. I did go vegetarian for like 8 months or so. This was probably like 4 years ago, maybe something like that, 5 years ago. I don't remember when it was, but I just know I wasn't doing it properly, and I think it ended up doing more damage to me than if I would have just stuck with my normal diet. But I think it really probably did clean a lot of my soul too, like you're saying. Diet is a big part of cleansing the body, mind, and soul. Karmic's been vegan since 2017. 3 vegans in here. Trinity. Heck yeah. Cool. "4 hours is long. No way my hands can type for that long." You have to make sure you're getting the missing vitamins from changing the diet. Supplements help. Nice. Yep. Oh, I missed. The sun feels amazing. Yeah, it does. I thought it felt really good outside, especially like during the last part of that walk. The sun really came out. Sun energy is amazing. It really is. Like, you can really heal yourself with the sun. I've actually, there was one time where I spontaneously healed myself with, the sun was coming in through the window at my friend's house once, and my ear was hurting. I don't know what it was, but I sat there and I just meditated with the energy of the sun, and it was almost like, I almost had a visualization of like an Egyptian deity, like Ra or something like that, and I just felt this golden flow over my whole body, and it healed me. Like, I was healed in that moment. And that's the thing, like, we're capable of those healing powers and properties, you know, within ourselves, but as soon as we start to disbelieve it, as soon as we're in shock, we're like, oh wow, it actually worked. That actually takes away from the effectiveness of the magic. Fraser Xavier in Mind and Magic YouTube channel, he talks about that quite a bit. Fruit's just incredible. I love fruit. I like fruit a lot more than vegetables. There's some vegetables I really like. There's certain kinds of salads I really like with, I love those Parmesan crisps. Oh my gosh, I love those things. I could just eat a whole bag of just Parmesan crisps. B12 vitamins, yep. I take a vitamin D every day, along with gummy vitamins and what the hell's the other thing I take? Like elderberry? Elderberry. So what do you guys think? Should we keep hanging out in here in the chat? I could go ahead and end the live stream too. I could go ahead and set the camera up pointed towards the TV, and I could play some Elden Ring if you guys are into that at all. I don't know if that's something of interest to you. I did a couple lore videos on Elden Ring because I don't know if any of you have played the games, but the lore is deep. It's rich. There's a lot of lore to it, and it's really cool. And you should look up videos on it. It's really esoteric and occult. But I didn't get very many likes on those videos. I mean, I know that usually when I do like video game type stuff, it doesn't get as much attention and stuff on my channel, but I still like to do it because I enjoy it. And I think there is a lot of occult and esoteric material and value that you can really pull from that. Who's Josh? The Son has done more for me than Jesus. It's funny. Well, Jesus was the Son, wasn't he? He was the risen Son. That's what the whole allegory of Jesus is about. But really, you're supposed to take that Christ consciousness, that sun, that light within yourself. It's the Tiphareth energy from the core, from the center. I don't really visualize heart chakra energy anymore. I visualize Tiphareth. I don't use the chakra system on my body. I use this, the middle pillar, the Sephiroth. All 10 Sephiroth I see visualized on my body. And I've actually started visualizing even the spheres of the Qliphoth, like below in the roots, and then working your way, not necessarily working your way, but seeing how the energy connects from the top tree to the bottom tree and understanding where the spheres are and how it's all interconnected. Do your sidereal chart. I'll have to get on that. My diet only cuts meat. I still use cheese, dairy products, eggs. I need to go to sleep. If you're tired, get you some sleep. Dairy clogs up your channels, homie. I speak from experience. Yeah, dairy I know can really, it really messes some people up. That ain't no Joshy boy. Yeah, I've never fasted for days at a time. I've never done that before. I've fasted for like a day maybe, or like most of a day. Like I'll fast for like 12 hours, 14 hours at most, and then usually like try to eat something. Otherwise, I'll just be too tired, and I especially won't be able to go to work and do what I need to do at work. If I'm just like sitting around and being like contemplative or meditative all day, it's not a big deal. But yeah, if I'm going to work or something, then I'm gonna need some fuel. Lacking knowledge. Who's lacking knowledge? Knowledge 2020. I see. This thing's confusing the way it has like you guys like sending the messages back and forth. Yeah, I don't really want you guys to have arguments in here. Like that's not shouldn't be going on. I think Knowledge 2020 has brought some good insights to the chat, and sorry, my friend. Thank you for being in here. Yeah, I feel like we're just getting caught up in polarities, guys. Like, oh, I see. So he should have just said vegetarian instead of vegan. Yeah, I don't know if that was a purposeful miscommunication or interesting. Yeah. Okay. Where did he say he cuts meat? I'm trying to find that one. Hold on. Oh, I see. But my diet only cuts meat. Okay. Yeah, I'm not upset or anything. And that's the thing, like we were talking about that earlier in the live stream too, like how I've seen a lot of people just get like very angry and like very caught up in things lately, and I see it everywhere. Like I see it with my own friends, like they're caught up in some of the worst scenarios they ever have been lately, and it's just like that's what I like. I hate miscommunication, and really when there's any strife, I like things to be. There's got to be some adversary, of course, sometimes to push ourselves, but for the most part, I do like things to be everyone to be like as harmonious as possible. But yeah, no worries, guys. I'm not upset or anything. I got confused there for a second. I was like, the chat just took a really like different turn. Hardcore meat eaters get the angriest, can hardly reason with them. Yeah, it has something to do with like the energy of the animal, right? When the animal like dies or whatever, like you're taking a part of that substance into your own self. So you feel the anger and you feel the hate. I eat a lot. I eat quite a bit of meat, guys. So I'm not, but I would never claim to be vegetarian, and I would never claim to be vegan, if I'm not. So I don't, that's one thing I don't like to do is I don't like to claim to be something that I'm not. So, yeah. We got 8 people in the chat still. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the energy does fuck with the aura. There's so many things that mess with our energetic, bodies and structures, and I think different people are different. So like what's good for one person is not necessarily going to be good for another person. I think what could maybe kill one person could really be what saves another person. Like it's really weird how reality and variables and factors work out in that way. I think they just woke up actually. All right, we are officially at past the 2-hour mark in the live stream, so we have been going for quite a while. Mastering the Zodiac, get on it. Yep, I need to. There's a lot of other things I have to do too, but that's definitely one of the things. That I need to do is check out that sidereal chart. Do you guys know if Cafe Astrology Universal Mastery just has a new premiere, PD Secret Music Ritual, something that was interesting. Just had water, so I'm asleep, but I'll still listen in. Yeah, definitely feel free to like go lay down and close your eyes, and if you wanna listen. I need me an astrology update too. Well, I do have the guitar sitting right here. I don't know if anybody wants to hear a song while I'm chilling. Like I said, my voice has not been the greatest today, so I'm all stuffed up. Oh. What's up, kitty? Well, I can't really use my guitar tuner because my guitar tuner's on the phone, so I don't think this guitar is really totally in tune, but it's close. I think I'm gonna use my fingers instead of a pick for this song. I do have some originals, but this song's not one of them. Turn that music way down low and take it nice and slow. I play it for you just like you like it. We're two shadows in the dark, nothing between us but a spark. And light this night up just like you like it. Girl, it's all for you. Everything I do, you just set the groove, yeah. I'll put on strong and smooth. We've got all night long. Tell me what you want, yeah. Gonna love you just like you like it. Hey, yeah, baby, just like you like it. I'll touch that hair back off your face. Girl, let my fingers trace all over you, just like you like it. You breathe my name, I'll feel the heat. Now we're on fire in these sheets. I'm burning for you, just like you like it. Girl, it's all for you. Everything that I do, you just set the groove. I'll put on strong and smooth. We've got it all night long. So tell me what you want, babe. Gonna love you just like you like it. Hey, yeah, baby, just like you like it. Yeah. I can feel you 1, 2 in the air, in the air, in the air. How the way you're going, I'ma get you there, get you there, get you there. Thank you, Melanin. Girl, it's all for you. Everything I do, you just set the groove. I'll put on strong and smooth. We've got it all night long. So tell me what you want, babe. Gonna love you just like you like it. Hey, yeah, baby, just like you like it, yeah. Just like you like, just like you like it, just like you like it, just like you like it, yeah. Just like you like it, yeah. Did you like that, Bella Boo? My cat likes it when I sing. She's kind of over there just like looking at me. But like a lot of the time, she'll just close her eyes and just sit there and listen. Sometimes she'll come up and purr. She's pretty cool. Thank you, Melanin. I'm glad you appreciate my energy. I appreciate all your guys' energy in here today. It's really blessed to be here and be able to do this, you know? I'm a blessed person, and I'm thankful. Karmic says, holy fuck, this is so good, Ty. Thank you. Thank you very much. I guess I could probably do another one. I think there's somebody I want to sing that particular song to later, though. Because I think I do a good job with that song. It's one of the songs that I do know. I've played it enough to where I have it down pretty well, you know, so I'm a little bit more solid on that one. We've still got 5 people in the chat, so I'm just going to keep on going. We actually have 6 now, so I don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep this up, but thank you all for being in here in case any of you tune out or whatever. Karmic, if you end up falling asleep or whatever, hopefully I can serenade you to sleep. Yeah, yeah. We can leave the lights. Oh, I'm sorry, I messed that up. We can leave the Christmas lights up till January. This is our place, we make the rules. And there's a dazzling haze and a mysterious way about you, dear. Have I known you 20 seconds or 20 years? Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close? Ever and ever and I. Take me out, take me home. You're my lover. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. We could let our friends crash in the living room. This is our place, we make the call. And I'm highly suspicious that everyone who sees you wants you, babe. I've loved you 3 summers now, honey. I want 'em all. Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close? Ever and ever and I. Take me out and take me home. Laundry. You're my lover. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand?
With every guitar string scar on my hand, I take this magnetic force of a woman to be my lover. And my heart's been borrowed and yours has been built. All's well that ends well to end up with you. Swear to be over dramatic and true to my lover. And you'll save all your dirtiest jokes for me. And at every table I'll save you a seat. Lover, can I go where you go? Can we always be this close? Forever and ever and I. Take me out, take me home. You're mine, 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 mine. Darling, you're mine, 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 mine. Lover. So yeah, I kind of messed up with like the chords and stuff there in that middle part, or that part where the chords change a lot in that one section. So I'd have to like practice that a lot more to be, you know, better with it. I haven't played that song in probably like a couple months, maybe. I feel like it's been a month since I've played that particular song right there. Melanin says, "Oh yeah, heck yeah." It's funny you mentioned that, brother, because I was just, or actually, I don't know. I'm assuming you're a brother, but yeah, I think so. I think so. She will be lucky. I was just thinking about her, actually. I was just thinking about messaging her and telling her to get on this live chat. I'm actually going to try to do that, so I hope it doesn't cancel out a brother from another mother. I appreciate that. And thank you for being a part of this chat today. It really does mean a lot. I really do appreciate these kinds of connections. So let me see if I can message real quick on Facebook. All right, you're awesome. She might be. Xavier. See, this is the kind of silly shit right here. Look at this cat. He's gonna try to burrow his way and make a little nest, like right in my jacket, as I'm trying to play the guitar. Are you kneading? You realize you're also on my guitar strap there, little buddy? Did you know that? Here, let's move the strap. I know. Come on, Bobby. You can still crawl in your little hole there. There you go. He's ridiculous. Yeah, he's a lion baby, isn't he? The little lion. Little lion baby. Oh. Ow. Meow. Say hello. He's like, I'm just going to sit here and just relax. My voice actually was kind of starting to improve a little bit as I was singing there. Ow. Mr. Kitty. Meow. Dude, Elder Scrolls is the fucking... Those are like... Okay, Xavier, I'm gonna move ya. Sorry, Bobby. Elder Scrolls those are like my favorite games. I've been playing Elden Ring like the past 2 years, and that was hard as shit to get started, but I'm doing a lot better. I'm at the final boss in the DLC now, actually, which he's super, super hard. I'm gonna have to level up my character even more. Like, I'm at level like 200 now, pretty much, and I'm still not strong enough to beat him yet. I guess I'll go ahead and try to sing maybe another song real quick. I'll put my ringer on that way in case I get a message back. There's 4. I see there's 4 people in the chat now, so there's not as many people in the chat now. That's okay. I'm gonna try to sing this song. I have a lot of trouble with the there's a certain chord in it I have a lot of trouble with, but I think I'm still gonna try it out. I'll just have to play it like extremely slow. I do not play the online version. I did play Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. I did have that game for a while, but I don't pay for Xbox Live or any of that stuff. I don't know if you're a PC gamer or like an Xbox gamer or how you play. But for me, I have an Xbox One. So, and I'm kind of angry that they're creating Elder Scrolls Online games and not fucking making Elder Scrolls 6. Like, I'm pissed that they haven't made Elder Scrolls 6 yet. Bethesda's doing all this other dumb shit, trying to make money off of Elder Scrolls Online, which sucks for the most part. I don't know if you play it. I thought the story of Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind was cool, and I got to a certain point in the game, but I can't even play the game anymore because I don't have Xbox Live, so it's kind of retarded. So I'm kind of tired about all that stuff. Did you know Jeremy Soule, the guy who does the music for Elder Scrolls, he's not going to be doing the music for the next game, I don't think. He got caught in like some kind of he had like some kind of sexual misconduct like against him or something, and he's just kind of disappeared off the face of the map, which is a damn shame because in my opinion he composes some of the most beautiful music like that exists in the world. Elder Scrolls music's beautiful. It's amazing. Always knew you were the best, the coolest girl I know. So prettier than all the rest, the star of my show. So many times I wish you'd be the one for me. I never knew it get like this, girl, what you do to me. You I'm thinking of, girl, you ain't my runner-up. No matter what, you're always number one. A prized possession, one and only. Adore you, girl, and want you. The one I can't live without. It's you. Oh my gosh, that chord, it's hard. It's you, it's you. That's not right either. It's you. This is why I don't play this song. It's tough. You're my precious little lady, the one that makes me crazy. Of all the girls I've ever known, it's you. I'm not even playing it. There it is. It's you, my favorite, my favorite, my favorite, my favorite girl, my favorite girl. Always going out your way to impress those Mr. Wrongs. You can be yourself with me. I'll take you as you are. I know they said believing love is a dream that can't be real. Never knew it'd be like this. We'll show them how we feel. You I'm thinking of, girl, you ain't my runner-up. No matter what, always number one. A prized possession, one and only. Adore you, girl, and want you. Of all the girls I've ever known, it's you, it's you. You're my precious little lady, one that makes me crazy. Of all the girls I've ever known, it's you, my favorite, my favorite, my favorite, my favorite girl, favorite girl. You take my breath away with everything you say. I just wanna be with you, my baby, my baby. Oh, promise, play no games. Treat you no other way than you deserve, 'cause you're the girl of my dreams. You're so special, one and only. Adore you, girl, I want you. The one I can't live without. It's you. You're my precious little lady. The one that makes me crazy. Of all the girls I've ever known, it's you. Oh. Yeah, so that song is still rough. I haven't tried to play that one in quite a while, honestly. It just has that really tough chord in it, but I do like it. It's a pretty song. So, but the only way I'm gonna learn it and get better at it is if I practice it. So, a song that's been in my head a lot recently, and I really would like to learn on guitar, but honestly, I'm probably just gonna do a karaoke cover of it before I do like an acoustic guitar, vocal cover, is Kiss from a Rose by Seal. That's a fucking awesome song. It was in the Batman Forever soundtrack. I've had that song like stuck in my head like the past like 3 days, maybe even 4 days. Your spirit guides must love hearing you play. I hope so. I sure hope so. You know what, guys? Excuse me for just a minute. I'm gonna go get some water real quick. I need some more water. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I think I'm definitely was getting kind of dehydrated there. See, and that's a problem for me with like fasting. Like I haven't eaten anything today besides like a granola bar. If I play music or if I sing, if I don't have enough food in me, or if I was starting to get kind of lightheaded there, probably because I didn't have enough water in me. So you just being a singer, being a performer, especially being a singer more than like a drummer. Like being a drummer, I can pretty much toughen my way through a lot of it, but when you're using your voice, when you're using the breath, you have to be really careful, like not to run out of breath. You have to kind of calculate how to use your voice, and you have to, if you're starting to get lightheaded or something, you just need to take a break and you just need to stop for a moment. So I think I'm gonna stop playing for now. Give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna flip over and message. I got lots of people that have sent me text messages and stuff as I've been in this chat. That's funny. We're actually reaching we're at like 150 minutes now almost, so we've reached almost 2.5 hours of live stream. That's insane. Oh my gosh, the past 2 years I've been rocking that song. I feel it so deeply. Kiss from a Rose. Yeah, it's an awesome song. I love it. I love it. I vibe with it a lot. about to crash now. Peace out. Peace out, Karmic. We love you. Take care. Have sweet dreams. Have sweet, pleasant dreams. Thank you for all your support. Honestly, like that you've been a good person, and like really like had conversation with me and everything. So I really do appreciate it, sister. So it means a lot. So yeah, I think I am probably gonna go ahead and actually like wrap up this chat pretty soon. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I really just appreciate hanging out, and I'm glad that you've all been a part of this. So it really does mean a lot, guys. So thank you. But I know we're just having fun and we're learning. So this is awesome. It's a good experience for all involved. So, look at this cat. Just making his home. I think I'll just lick my leg. Yeah, he's actually had fleas really bad. Poor guy. And he won't let me give him a bath. There's no way this cat would let me give him a flea bath. And he gets flea treatment every month, so I don't know. I'm just hoping for the cold weather to come pretty soon, so it'll help. That frost will get rid of a lot of the seasonal like fleas we have, and stuff. So we're down to 2 people in the chat now. So for those of you who are still with it, who are still with this conversation, thanks for sticking it out this long, honestly. So I'd be curious to know who's still in here. I'm guessing Melanin's still in here. And then Clausy, was that the other? Was that the other user name? All right, yeah, everyone, I think I am going to go ahead and end the stream here. So my voice is getting a little bit tired, and could definitely use a rest and relaxation for a minute. But I think we got a really, really good live session in here today. And yeah, once again, just thanks for tuning in. And I do have, there's a couple other new live streams if you want to go check those out. I did on the 4 worlds of the Kabbalah. I could probably actually do one more video live stream just about that, because I didn't finish the chapter in the Secret Teachings of All Ages that I wanted to finish. We just got started in that chapter. So make sure you're subbed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you've liked this live stream if you haven't already. Be sure to go and check out my other live streams that I've had posted recently. And then also, I just posted a new video about Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel, so be sure to check those out as well. And peace and blessings, everyone, and until next time.